Hey everybody, this is Jose, just doing a quick sound check. Please go ahead and type a quick hello in the chat box so I know you hear me. That would be very nice. Thank you very much. We're about to start, around 20 seconds to go, so really the session is ready to begin. Just need to know you hear me, guys. Almost ready. 5 seconds to go. Wonderful. Thank you so much for Ilan. Very good. That's it. The session is on, everybody. Welcome to the session. Let me say a quick hello. Here we go. Put myself a bit more to the left. How are you, everyone? Good to see you. Welcome to the session. Today is July 7, 2020. Today it's our short-term trading day. So the idea is to jump into the markets, look for short-term opportunities, intraday trading. We're going to be using futures and Forex to do so. And let's see what the market has for us. Anything that meets our rules will be a trade that will be ready to execute. Anything that does not meet our rules will be something that will simply pass on. We will not get into forcing trades or pushing trades that we're not supposed to take. We will simply follow a set of rules. That's all. That's it. Okay, Leland, how are you? I owe you an email, by the way, Leland. It's been a very, very busy week on my end, but I'll get back to you. I did receive the email that you sent. Okay, sorry for that. Anyway, so before we start, I just have one thing to do, really, is to read the disclaimer for you, and from there we begin. Disclaimers: the following video clips demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Traditive provides these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the product. Users understand that all the content used in the video is purely for demonstration purposes only and is not a guide and does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through demonstration don't indicate in any way the results you may receive when using our products. That's it. The session is now officially introduced, so I'm just going to close our introduction slides and jump into TradeStation, where we have our red screen with our golden alerts flashing for us, indicating potential opportunities to be executed in the marketplace. So we're going to go through the whole analysis, the whole planning, the whole assessment. And as I said, if we had a go ahead, then we'll take the trades. If we have a no go, then we'll switch market until we get a go ahead. Okay, it's that simple. We are mechanical. That's how trading should be. So let me freeze the screen and zoom in. So we're gonna see what's available. And notice that the first thing that we can see here is a near sensible opportunity with the Euro futures. Okay, this is the only one available with a 15-minute time frame climate, which is the upper markets that we have here on the top. Notice that we have another near sensible here, but also notice the gray box, which indicates the climate not being confirmed, and therefore probabilities are less. Just like here we got the word hopeful, meaning that the climate has been developing for too long and expecting it to continue. Where statistics suggest the opposite is true, would be a bit hopeful, isn't it? So we're gonna ignore it as well. Okay, so therefore there are more opportunities below with the Japanese yen, also Lindhogs. So there are more opportunities to be assessed later on. But let's begin the day with the Euro contract, the EC. Let's go for it. So loading the appropriate workspace and ready to put this trade together. Okay, so ECU20 is the symbol. Notice the at the beginning because we're charting the continuous symbol. Okay, and what do we have? Where we have no trade right now. Okay, that's what we have. We have no trade right now. Let me explain it. Okay, so when zooming in to look into the climate, we can see clearly, as we saw on the red screen, that we have a confirmed climate to the downside. Okay, so all of this is good. This climate has been running for five candles. Our statistics suggest that this climate is supposed to last 5 candles. So, the next 15 minutes, I should say the next 12 minutes are still valid for us to take a trade based on the rules, okay? Therefore, we still got 12 minutes to take a trade on the Euro. Now, the reference point for us to take a trade on the Euro is 113.03, okay? 113.03. That would be the reference, okay? And where are we at? Well, we are trading at 05, which is a bit higher, so that's not so good. But the worst part really is not that price is a bit higher. The worst part is that, at 03, which is our reference point, there is no UFOs, red colored UFOs, there are none at this price point, 113.03, okay, which is the reference. In other words, we have to wait, okay, and two things may happen. The climate may change, which, by the way, statistics suggest this may happen anytime. But at the same time, the other thing that could happen is that we get a UFO forming here in just a few minutes, maybe a few seconds. You never know. So especially with the share bars and the tick charts, UFOs may form anytime. Of course, with the time-based charts, you could have UFOs every 2 minutes. But with the share bars and the tick bars, you never know when it's going to happen. It may happen anytime, right? So in this sense, we're going to have to just wait and see what's going to happen. And if a red UFO forms and it's lining up with 113.03, then we'll be ready to execute a trade on the euro contract. Okay, it's not looking like this is what's going to happen, especially given the fact that we just got two green UFOs form in front of us. This could be the sign that tells us that the climate is indeed about to change from red to blue after reaching what statistics suggest, which is 5 candles. Okay, again, we'll see that when the clock hits 11:15 a.m. in New York, which is 9 minutes from now, more or less. Okay, so we'll see that. But again, we still got 9 minutes for a UFO to form, so a trade may still be taken. I'm gonna plan for it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and activate AutoUFOs on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, to find where the target would be if I was to go short the euro. It's not looking like we'll have an opportunity to go short, at least for now. But again, I want to be ready because since I only got a few minutes, then I may miss the trade if I don't get prepared. Okay, so when looking at the euro contract for the short opportunity, we can see that the target to be utilized would be 112.67. 112.67. This would be the target to be utilized. Okay, I'll freeze the screen here so you can see that better. 112.67. That would be the target, which is the top of this particular UFO. Okay, so that's it. We know our target. I made a note for myself, so later if I have to rush into planning a trade on the euro, I'll have the target so I can place the order quickly. Okay, we have a question from Wahyu. I was regarding mechanical trade. When it comes to calibration, where different value different UFOs, it makes no mechanical anymore. Am I correct? No, you are not correct, Wahyu, because I'm not sure. Probably you haven't watched, that's why you're asking, probably you haven't watched the session that we have recorded on the sharpening playlist on the YouTube channel, where the title is Calibration. I recommend you to look at the playlist and look for the video called Calibration and watch it. It's kind of like 2 hours long talking about calibration, and you will understand the pros and the cons of different values. And the idea in that video, I'm summarizing it very much for you, is that basically you will go through a process to decide what calibration settings you want to use, and the moment you decide on those calibration settings, you never change them again. So therefore the app will always process data the same way, and therefore you are mechanical in your approach to trading. Okay, now if you were to keep changing calibration, then yes, of course, but that's absolutely not how to use it. Okay, so watch that video because it's an important one for you to fully understand the process. So notice how I was saying earlier that UFOs may form anytime. We just got a red UFO form. Fortunately, it's located at 0709, which is much higher than the reference value being 04 or 304. So that UFO does not qualify as an enveloping UFO. That UFO does not envelop the EMA. Therefore, we will not focus on that one. But at the same time, the fact that a UFO form now increases the probability a bit more for another UFO to form around 04. And if that was to be the case, we're going to have to rush to put a trade in the euro contract. Okay, so I'm going to come back to this often. Because we may have a trade, I'm not sure yet, but we may have a trade. What else do we have? We have the 10-year note, the 30-year bond, and the Japanese yen. Okay. Well, since we are dealing with the euro, which is a currency, okay. What about we look at the yen first, and then we can look at the TY and the US, and go for it. Okay. But let's begin with the yen. So everything we do is currencies as of now. The symbol we are using is JYU20. That's the symbol we're using, so make sure you're using the right symbol. Notice the Japanese yen uses a 60-minute time frame, common time frame, combined with the 8-minute edge time frame. Okay, so it's a different setup compared to other setups that we have. So what do we have? Okay, what do we have? We have a climate which is confirmed and is blue, so we are supposed to be buyers. And for us to be buyers, we have a reference point which is 93.015. So 93.015, actually that UFO is 025 to 98. So this UFO qualifies as a valid entry. So we have an entry here. We have an entry. Careful here because that 98.5 is lining up with this one, which is 98, but that's where my stop would be, isn't it? So really it drops all the way to 95.5. And the next one, 95.5, I'm just looking at overlapping UFOs. So the next one starts at 95. So those two, there is only one tick in between. So if I place my stop, I'm going to end up with that one. So then my stop should go below 91. And if my stop is touching 91, then it means my stop is there. And therefore I should be using 88.5. So my stop is going to be 88. And if my stop is 88, I believe I just moved this box. Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to refresh this chart because I just moved the box by mistake. And if I move the box, then I may be looking at the wrong price, isn't it? Okay, so this one here, the top is 87.5. So if I place my stop at 88, then I'm fine. Okay, good. So in other words, my stop is going to be 88 and my entry is going to be the top of that UFO. Okay, it's going to be tight. That's 92, 93.024. Okay, 93.02. Not sure why it shows us 4. It should be 5. 93.025. Probably I moved the box. Okay, so 0.93025, that's the entry. 0.9288, that's my stop. Good, so let's look for a target. Let me check the euro quickly. Okay, no red UFO, actually another green UFO showing up. So in the end, it seems that the climate may end up changing. So let's look for a target for the yen. And back to the yen, we are looking to go long. So therefore, that red UFO on the top would be our target. And that would be 93.515. Okay. So target 0.93515. That would be the location for the target. Okay. So let's put it all together. Let me summarize this on the screen in a way that is easy to interpret. So I'm going to bring trading view. I'll open the order bar. Let's move this to the GYU 2020. Here we go. So we are going long. We said our entry would be 93.025. We said the stop would be 92.88. So notice that we are risking $181.25 per contract. I'm going to go with 2 contracts. I'm going to risk double that. Just keep that in mind. And the final target is 93.515. Okay, so that's the final target. So in other words, this is like a 3-to-1. Okay, you're risking 29 ticks in order to make 97 ticks. Wait a minute, I got a mistake here. It's not 98.5, it's 98.0. This one I got it right, and the entry is not like that, is 93.025. Not sure why it changed. Okay, so I am risking, let me rephrase it because I had a little, here we go, it changed again, I'm not sure why. Now I have it right. So 181.25 and 612 would be the profit. That's a 3-to-1. Okay, so this is the trade that we're going to put in place. Okay, And then the only thing missing here is that I have not calculated the safety target. So let me bring a calculator. So here's a calculator. My entry is 0.93025. Okay. And my stop is 0.9288. Okay. So, okay, I'm using the wrong keyboard layout. So 93025, that's the entry. Okay, and the stop is 0.9288. So we are risking 0.014.5. Okay, so keeping that value in mind, we're gonna add this value to 0.93025, which is our entry, and that will give us the location for the safety target, which is 9317. While the final target would be higher than 17, the final target would be 51. Okay. So this is the trade, and of course, with the yen, there are many kind of like long decimal places. So it's we gotta take it easy. We gotta always double check to make mistakes. So I'm just gonna place the order here, going long the yen with 2 limits and 1 stop. Okay, so 2 contracts. That's what I'm using. Again, in your case, for sure. First, decide if you want to take the trade or not. Second, decide if you want to take it with real money or paper money. And the last one, decide about your size. Okay, is it going to be 2 contracts like me? It's going to be double my size. It's going to be more than double the size. So just make sure you are executing with the size that match your trading plan. Okay, so 93.025, that was the entry. 92.88, that was the stop. Final target 0.93515 and 0.9317, that was the safety target. Okay, so let me zoom in so we can review this together, and you can also take a screenshot. So again, 2 contracts at the entry. Entry 0.93025 with stops for each contract at 92.88 both. Then for one contract, final target located at 93.515, and for the other contract, safety target located at 0.93170. So the trade is ready to be sent. So I'm going to send order, validate 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the order is in. And now we can visually double check that everything made sense. Okay, so we are relying on that UFO. This is the one that is enveloping the EMA nicely. Okay, so this is the entry. Okay, now why is the stop so far below that UFO? Well, because if I move it right below, then it was basically in the middle of this one, and if I would move it below this one, then it's inside that one, and if I move it below this one, then it was inside that one. So in the end, I had to use 88.5 as my reference, okay, and I ended up with a stop located at 88, which is right below. And now if you look at the location of the stop, you would see that on the chart on the right, it's on the white space. The chart in the middle, it's on the white space. The chart on the right, it's on the white space. So in other words, we have no stop being inside of a UFO, okay, which is the way to do it. Stops is to exits, UFOs is to enter. So we don't want to stop inside of a UFO. We want the stops outside the UFOs. Now, if this is your entry and below is your stop, semi-distance projected above brings you to your safety target 93.17, right? And then the final target all the way 93.515. This was identified thanks to the UFO that we found on the 60-minute time frame, which is the final target. Here we go. So we have a trade in. This trade is valid until 12 p.m. New York time. If you are not filled before that time, then you will need to reassess the value for the EMA, which may have varied and may invalidate the trade. In such case, you will need to come back here and click cancel. Okay. For now, all is looking good. We just need the yen to drop from 93.06 to 93.025. Okay, and then we'll be in. So it's very little price movement. This could happen like in 10 seconds, really. So we'll see. Okay, so back to the euro. We had a change of climate, as you can see. Okay, so the dot went from red to blue. The UFOs that were keep appearing on the edge time frame were kind of a little bit of a clue that this could be the situation. So in the end, it was the situation. Okay, so back to the red screen. 4 minutes ago, we got updates on climate, so we may have something new. Actually, funnily, we don't have anything new on the 15-minute time frame list. Only one, which is hopeful, so we ignore it. So that means that we have work to do, both with the 60-minute time frame as well as with the 4-hour time frame with the lean hogs, not with the corn, because corn has a gray box, so we'll ignore corn. But the lean hogs and the 30-year bonds, those are valid candidates, as well as the 10-year note. Okay, so 10-year note and 30-year bond, those will be the next two charts I will load. 10-year note and US. Here we go. Let's open those workspaces and let's do the planning for those trades. Here we go. So with the US, and by the way, I took a trade with the US yesterday. You can see it here. Okay, and it was a trade that ended up with a small profit. But with the US, notice the symbol I'm using here is USU20. Okay, USU20. With the TY, we should be using the same expiration date, which is U, so TYU20. Okay, so let's begin with the TY. Okay, so what do we have with the TY? Well, with the TY, we have a down climate started, 20 minutes ago with a new 60-minute time frame candle. Okay, that's when it started. And basically, it's the first dot. We don't even need to look at statistics when it's the first dot, isn't it? So first dot is the best entry you can get if you wish. Just trying to expand this a little bit. Bear with me, guys. Here we go. Oh, I just went too far. Sorry. Here we go. That's what I wanted. So I wanted to uncover the value of the EMA here, 139.01.5. Okay. So notice that, let me freeze the screen. Notice the current price is 01. So right above that, one tick above, we need a red UFO. And unfortunately, none of those edge time frame charts are providing any red UFO. Okay, the nearest red UFO is all the way there on the top, which certainly is not lining up with the EMA. Okay, so what do? We have to wait. Again, anytime UFOs may be formed. Okay, so we have to wait and see if that's the case. In the meantime, we're gonna check the US. And with the US, let me tell you that we may have a trade. I believe we do have a trade. Okay, so let's go for it. First, climate. Let me zoom in. Okay, so what do we have? Confirmed climate, red dot. So we want to be sellers of the 30-year bond. What is the average price that we are looking for as a reference? Okay, so 178.830 seconds. That is the reference price. Okay, and 830 seconds is here, so we don't have anything red. 830 seconds is here, we don't have anything red. 830 seconds is here, and we do have a red UFO. Okay, so this red UFO envelopes the EMA, and my friends, we do have an opportunity with the 30-year bond to execute a trade. Therefore, let's go ahead and look for a target on the 30-year bond, which I'm going to look for that target in a 60-minute time frame by turning on AutoUFOs, and here is where my target would be. Okay, so for the US, my target would be, let me see, 178.532. Okay, so 178.530 seconds. Here we go. We got it. Okay. So now my problem is that this is very close. Okay, this is very, very close, and I'm not sure if the reward and risk of this trade would be justifiable, given the fact that the green UFO is so close to the current price. Cannot change that, so I'm not going to improvise a target, hoping for the best. That would be absolutely unprofessional. But we may invalidate the trade as we look a bit deeper into it. Okay, so if we were to take this trade, the entry would be 178 and that is 732s, and the stop would be, okay, right above 178.1032. Therefore, it's going to be 178.1132. Okay, and the target would be 5. Okay, so yeah, it's no way, it's not going to work. Yeah, it's not going to be good, guys. It will not be good. If the entry is 7 and the stop is 11, you're risking 5 ticks. And if your target is 05, which is right below 6, right? The target is right here. So you are risking, how much I said, you're risking 4 ticks to make 2 ticks. Okay, so that makes no sense. And therefore, this trade is to be discarded because the target is too far. Let me rephrase that. The target is too close. Okay, it's the complete opposite. But now, let me tell you, if during this 1 hour period, let's say the price of the US was to come deeper into this UFO, more unfilled orders are being filled, and the UFO goes away from the screen. Okay, so what happens now? Well, then now you can go ahead and look for the next UFO, and that becomes your target. Okay, but while that upper UFO is here, you gotta respect it. Okay, it's unfortunate, but it's what the market is giving us. Okay, this is objective market data, and therefore that would be the location for the target. Okay, cool. Okay, so 10-year note, anything has formed? No. Japanese yen, what do we have? Still waiting to get filled? Yes, still waiting to get filled. Nothing really has happened yet. So we just wait. We just wait. So back to the red screen. Lean hogs. Okay, this is the next one we are going to attack. So let's load lean hogs, and very important, so we are dealing here with one of those commodities. Okay, and with commodities, I said that many times, isn't it? With commodities, it is important that you check and you double check that you're using the right expiration date, therefore the right symbol. How you move it? Good to see you. Just realizing my lighting today is so dark, isn't it? I need to work on improving that a little bit. Is it live cattle or lean hogs? I think it was lean hogs, right? Lean hogs, yes. So let's go for lean hogs. We are suggested the Q is going to be the right number. Okay, the Q should be the right number. This is the row really where we can see the greatest open interest and the greatest volume, and the letter is the Q. So in this case, we're going to take such suggestion because we agree with the suggestion. So we're going to use the Q. Okay, and I do have the Q already. Okay, so I'm ready to go. And I need to do a little bit of analysis here. So let's begin with looking at the climate. So candle number 1, confirm, thick dot, red color, down climate. So we want to be sellers of lean hogs. This is again candle number 1, where statistics suggest this market may start moving down and could be up to 8 candles, 4 hours each. Okay, so that's pretty nice. So certainly we're interested in getting into a trade with this market. Our reference price to enter into a trade would be 49.28.8. Okay, so the question is, do we have anything at this price point? Okay, and 49.28.8 is somewhere here, and there is nothing. 49.28.8 there is here, there is nothing, and 49.28.8 is more or less here, and there is nothing. Okay, the UFOs are higher than that, but they are not aligned with the Yemen. Okay, so therefore we have a patience situation where we just need to wait. Okay, so lean hogs is certainly giving us the right climate. Candle 1 out of 8, that's almost perfect, but we have no UFOs, and therefore taking the trade would be way too hopeful. So we just need to wait until the UFO forms. Again, in this particular market, given the fact that we're using the 240-minute climate combined with a 21-minute time frame, so everything is slower. Okay, so it takes more time, but still remember, especially the time frames on the right, share bars and tick charts, those are time frames where those candles are not depending on time, they're depending on trading activity. And in this sense, anytime you may go ahead and have a UFO form. It could be right now as we speak. Okay. Now, if it's right now as we speak, it's not good because this would be 07 and we need it to be higher, around 29. Okay. So hopefully Link Hogs will go a little higher and then give us a UFO, and then we'll be delighted to take a trade. Okay. So this is something for us to watch. Back to the US, nothing new. Back to the TY, nothing new. Back to the Japanese yen, we didn't get filled yet. Price went down just a little bit, 3 ticks down from before, but we still got 7 ticks to go to get a fill. Okay, so Mr. Yen, please be kind to us. We just got a few updates there going on. So the Euro contract is now giving us an alert. Yeah, so let me freeze the screen so we can analyze this better. So the Euro contract, here we go. Let's do it like this. Okay. Let me do this right. Here we go. So the Euro contract, okay, is giving us an alert which is sensible, and the climate is confirmed. Okay. The Dow Jones, the YM, is giving us an alert, but the climate is not confirmed. Okay, so we'll pass on the YM and we'll go check the Euro. And also crude oil is giving us an alert, but notice that we got the word hopeful, so we will ignore CL, the crude oil. We will leave it alone for now. Okay, so it's time to check the Euro contract, potentially to go long. Earlier we were looking at shorting the Euro. It seems that now the climate, it's indicating the opposite is the right action to be taken. Okay, so let's go ahead and check what do we have at this moment in time. So climate, confirm and second dot. Okay, so certainly ready to go. Statistics suggest that when the Euro goes up, it could be up to 8 candles. Okay, so this is candle number 2. So certainly very nice price point for us to get into a trade. Okay, current EMA value is 113.08. If I was to be purist, okay, which I need to, even though purist sounds like a good thing, in this case it's not going to be good. You will see why. So 08 is more or less here. Okay, in other words, the top is 09, the bottom is 06, right? So 08 is the horizontal line somewhere in the middle. Okay, so you may say, yes, that's good. That UFO is lining up with that EMA. Okay, but I'm not sure about that. Okay, I am really not sure about that, especially given the fact that the Euro is currently trading at 13.13. So if the Euro goes down, 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 okay, the EMA will go down. And if the EMA is below 6.5, then we don't have a trade. Okay, we don't have a trade. So I need to look at this more in depth, because I also notice that the UFO on the right, okay, may be in better position for this trade to be executed, because it could be 6, 5, or 7 here on the top. Okay, so I want to take a look at all of this to see what is it that is going to be. Okay, before I do that, I want to also look at the target. So 15-minute time frame, turn on the UFO. Okay, looking for red UFOs. Ooh, no red UFOs. Okay, interesting. So let's take a look at the daily time frame to see when was the last time that we saw price so high. And we are talking about June. Okay, so let's load data all the way to June. So 15-minute time frame, loading data starting June 1st, 2020. And let's see where those red UFOs are. Okay, and again, I have this habit of always forgetting when I'm conducting the sessions with you guys. I'm using, as you can see on the top of the screen, a virtual machine to run TradeStation, which is a special setup I have for when I run the sessions for you guys. And of course, the virtual machine's got less computer resources compared to not using a virtual machine. And in this sense, muscle memory is bigger than that. And right now what I have done is to basically add data and now the TradeStation is processing AutoClimate and AutoUFO all together in a virtual machine, and is running a bit slow, as you can see. So one way to speed up the process, if you have a slower computer, or like me, you use a virtual machine, would be to turn off AutoClimate, which I don't need now, only process AutoUFO, and then switch it back again. That would certainly make everything to be faster. Okay, but anyway, it's done. So where is the target? Okay, and the target is located all the way at 113.87. Okay, so 113.87 for the euro, that would be the final target. That's quite far. Okay, it could be reached in one day, I would say, but it will be quite impressive if we reach that target in one day. Okay, so probably what you will end up doing here is, as you have seen in other sessions, just trail stop, trail stop, trail stop, and see how far you get. Okay, so I'm going back to my normal amount of bars and the right style, which is dot on close. Here we go. So I'm just gonna leave my chart the way it was. Now I know my target, 113.87, and therefore now I'm wondering about the entry. Okay, so again, our reference is 08. This guy has 08 in the middle. That one does not, is higher than that. That one does not, is higher than that. 04 is quite low. That one is higher than that. And this one, let me see what's the top. I think the top was going to be 06. Yes. So the top of that UFO is 06. And yeah, and so it's a tough one, okay? Because 08, okay, when the euro falls from 15, which is the current price, to 08, okay, or in this case, if I was to use this 06, if it was to fall to 06, then there is a pretty high chance for that EMA to be around 06. But maybe it's 06.5 or 06.4, and then it's not 06, right? So then, given the fact that the prior UFO in the middle chart is ending at 6.5, so what I'm going to propose to do here is to basically combine those two. They are not exactly overlapping, but in order to not to miss the trade, and since the risk is 4 more ticks basically, so actually it's 8 more ticks, which is 4 pips. So I think it's reasonable, and we're gonna go for it. Okay, so 113.09, that's the round circle. The top of this UFO is 113.095. Okay, so let me bring back trading view so we can just input the parameters of the trade. So ECU 2020. I didn't type this right. ECU 2020. So we are going long. The entry price would be 0.95. Okay, and the stopping point would be 0.20. Okay, 0.20, which is 1 tick below 0.25. Okay, notice how on the matrix we got 4.5, 4.0, 3.5, 3.0, 2.5, 2.0. Okay, so that's the case, 2.5. So then the stop is 2.0. Okay, so that brings us to a risk per contract of $93.75. Okay, and then our final target we said was going to be located at 13.87, which is a 10-to-1 trade. It's pretty powerful stuff. Again, I don't think we're gonna get there in one day, even though it's doable. Normally, you would end up trailing stop, and exiting at the best price possible. Okay, so I got one thing left, which is to calculate the safety target. Sorry for that, guys. I just made a little mistake here on my screen. It's just fixed. So again, the entry 113.095, the stop 113.02. So we 113.095 minus 113.02. So we're talking about 7.5 pips, okay, which is 15 ticks. And if I project this above the entry, which is 103.095, so that brings the safety target to be 0.317. Okay, so let's input an order. okay, using those particular trade parameters. I'm going to use two contracts, okay? Again, when executing the trade, make sure that you are happy with it. If you choose to execute the trade, you decide if you want to use paper money, real money, and the sizes. All of those are obviously your decisions, okay? So let me input the parameters. So 103 113.095 with a stop located at 113.02, 113.02. Final target 113.87 and 113.17. It's the safety target. Okay, so let me zoom in so you can see that better. Again, two contracts at the entry, which is 113.095. All of these protected with stops for both contracts at 113.020. One of the contracts is exited for the final target at 113.87. The other contract is only looking for safety with a safety target located at 113.17, as we just calculated using a calculator. Okay, so I believe it's all good, and therefore we are ready to go. So I'm just gonna send the order. 1, 2, 3, yes. The order is in the system, and we are just a few ticks away as well. Let me double check it's all correct. Yes, my stop is on the white space, my stop white space, my stop white space. Entry doesn't make sense on the chart on the right, but makes a lot of sense with the chart in the middle, okay, using that UFO. Also does not make sense on the chart on the left, because again, we are relying on the UFO in the middle chart as an entry. Same distance that we gave ourselves to the stop is projected to the upside to set the safety target at 113.17, and then the final target, which is so far away. Remember, that was a 10-1. Again, it'd be great to get there, and you could get there, and that's why we are prepared for it. At the same time, the further away your target is, the more likely you end up exiting the trade based on trade management rules. Okay. Cool. So we have it. I would like to review the other trades that we have in place for now. So with the Japanese yen, we haven't got filled yet. Really, the Japanese yen is asleep right now. TY, nothing going on. The US, nothing going on. Lean Hawks, no UFO form. Euro contract, we have the trade in. Okay, so as of now, the two trades that we are monitoring are the Euro contract as well as the Japanese yen. Similar setups, they are both long. So let's see what will happen to these trades. Okay, back to the radar screen, and you guys are very, very quiet today. I'd love to hear a little bit of feedback from you guys, even if it's just to say it's all good, just watching, just working on my screen. Putting the trades in place, it's all of this is good, but even though to you it seems obvious that no need to say all good, it helps me a lot as your instructor to know that you guys are following well, or if it's not the case, that you guys let me know. So please let me know a little bit of feedback on how is it going on your end. Fairmont, should that trade be good for the day and not good to cancel, since it is a 15-minute time frame? This trade is good for 15 minutes, Fairmont. Every 15 minutes you have to review, because every 15 minutes the EMA will move, and therefore your trade could be invalidated any moment, right? Any moment, any one of those new 15-minute candles that you will have in the 15-minute time frame. So you should be reviewing that in a regular basis. This is short-term intraday trading. If you want to do trades that are good for the day, then certainly you would probably benefit better of the session that we do on Thursdays, where we are doing trades that are more quiet, if you wish, more longer duration trades. But when dealing with intraday trading, of course, you have to be on top of it. Okay, the market is dynamic, so it would be a bit too much to ask from the market that whatever you saw on the screen when you happen to have time to look at the screen, it remains the same for the whole day just because it's convenient to us, right? So it's not going to happen like that. The market is doing its thing, and we are the ones who need to adapt to it. Okay, so yeah, so that was my answer to your question. Lilan, all good, waiting for the entry. Very good. Boyan, how are you? Joined late. We need to think about, are we gonna forgive Boyan to come late to the session? Mark, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Yes, the yen trade, absolutely, Boyan, absolutely. Here's the yen trade. So we are waiting for the entry there at 0.93.025. Hélène, très bien. Miguel Mateo, all good, very good. Froilan, waiting for entry in the euro. Very nice, very nice. Perfect, everybody. Perfect, everybody. Yeah, a little bit quiet market. It'd be nice to get some executions while together in the room. So we just got an update on the climate, and well, actually we haven't got an update yet, but the Russell seems to be flashing an alert here. So let's go ahead and open the Russell workspace. So we are moving into equities. Also, in 1 minute from now, we're going to have an update that potentially may produce new opportunities. So let's go ahead and take a look. Crude oil is also flashing an alert now. So we got the Dow, the Russell, and crude oil is still hopeful. Okay, so we can also open the Dow, YM. Okay, and I guess we'll look at the Russell and the YM, and then we'll review if something's happening to the Japanese yen on the euro, and then we'll call it a day. Okay. So with the yen, nothing. With the euro, by the way, following up with a prior question, we need to review the trade is still valid. So because we just got an update on the 15-minute time frame, so the question is that value still valid, right? And that value is now 0.86, okay, 0.86 as price is approaching the entry, which is 0.95, okay? So certainly the EMA is inside that UFO. Okay, so the trade on the euro is still valid, even though the EMA value has changed a little bit because we had a new update on the 15-minute time frame, but this trade is still valid right now. Okay, so the yen trade waiting to get filled, the euro trade waiting to get filled. Let's move into the yen. So what do we have with the yen? Sorry, let me rephrase that with the Russell. With the Russell, we have a climate which is confirmed to the upside, candle number 4 out of what statistics suggest would be 8 candles into this climate. Okay, so 4 out of 8, certainly we are on time to take this trade. Our reference is 1431.8 and 1341.8 certainly falls inside that UFO, ending up at 29, What is the top of this guy? 31.5, 3020, okay? Yeah, so I'm gonna use this for entry, it's gonna be more precise, but this one ends at 30, while this one ends at 29, so my stop is gonna have to be below 29, even though my entry is gonna be the top of this UFO in the middle. And then when looking at the right side of the chart, we have very similar values there. Very similar values. So again, it seems to me that the most precise is going to be this one with 31.5. Yeah. So let's go for that one. So looking for a target for the Russell. So we're looking to go long. So the target would be the red UFO. So RTY 1446.80. Okay, 1446.80. That is the location for that UFO. So let's go ahead and get trading view on the screen so we can do the whole assessment for the trade. So RTYU 2020, we are going long. We said the entry is going to be 31.5. We said the stop is going to be right below 29, right? So it's going to be 28.90. Let me make sure I said that right. Right below 29. Yes. So 28.90. So we are risking $130 per contract in this trade. Again, I'm going to be using 2 contracts, so I'm going to risk double that. Just keep that in mind. This is the risk of the trade. Okay, and then the final target, out of curiosity, we say was going to be 46.80. Okay, so that makes this trade to be like a 5 to 1. So it's pretty powerful stuff. Okay, so it's looking good for us to place an order, and therefore here we go. Two contracts on the Russell, same process. Okay, same process. So entry 1431.5, stop 1428.9, 1428.9, final target 1446.80, and the one thing I have not calculated is the safety target, which I'm going to do now. So 1431.5 minus 1428.9, which is a stop, isn't it? So that's 2.6 points. If I project this above the entry, which is 1431.5, so that gives me 1434.1. Okay, so 1434.1, that's the one. Yes, very good. So let's place an order. This time I did not zoom in because you have seen this process multiple times today. So I'm just gonna show it on the screen. So we have the entry based on that UFO 1431.5. Okay, you may see the EMA higher than that. Okay, but the price is 37. So if the price of the Russell goes down, the EMA will go down and it will line up with that UFO. And I know this because earlier price was closer and I saw that. So that's the entry. Now notice again, great amount of room to get to the stop. And why is that? Well, this is because of that UFO, okay, which is wider and ends at 29. So the stop is on the white space. On the left, the stop is on the white space. In the middle, the stop is on the white space on the right. Okay, and then equal distance above, we got our safety target 1434.10, and then our final target 5 to 1 away at 1446.8. Okay, so the trade is in for the Russell. Let me take a look at the yen. Did we get filled? No. What about the euro? Did we get filled? No. So just waiting. The Russell, we have another trade in. Okay, let's take a look at the yen. I meant to say the Dow Jones. I see the Y there, and I don't know why I said that. So what do we have here? Well, actually here we're not going to have a trade, okay, because the climate is down, but price happens to be above the UFO. Okay, so price happens to be above the UFO, and therefore, we need to wait for price to go below. And not only that, gives us a red UFO around our reference value, which is 25,994. Okay, we don't have that at the moment, so we just need to wait patiently here. Okay, so there are lots of waiting today. Okay, waiting to get filled on trades. It's not like we didn't find trades. Okay, we got 3 trades waiting to get filled, but we are waiting time for us to get filled on those trades, as well as we are waiting for other markets such as the TY, such as the US, such as the Lean Hogs, such as the Dow, for those markets to create UFOs in the right location. So we have a trade, okay, but this is not happening yet. So guys, I'm gonna take a sip if you don't mind. Questions, okay? Questions, because basically we're kind of done for today. But before we conclude the session, I do want to give a couple of additional instructions for you to be able to execute those trades on your own properly. But just in case there is any question, please let me know if there is any question on the chat box. If all is clear, let me know all is clear. And in the meantime, I'll take a seat. Thanks for that, guys. Okay. It seems that all is clear. Very good. Okay, so the instructions really are always the same instructions, because what we do is mechanical, okay? But it's just out of review. Reviewing is certainly healthy, especially if you are in learning stages, okay? So what's the review about? Well, the review is about repeating something said already in today's session, which is every 60 minutes in the case of the yen, we'll have an update in the climate. Okay, every 15 minutes in the case of the euro, we'll have an update on the climate. Every 15 minutes as well, in the case of the Russell, we have an update on the climate. Okay, and the other markets, I'm just gonna close them because we don't have a trade, so I don't have to give any additional instructions for all the other markets. Okay, so I'm just gonna focus on the yen, the euro, and the Russell. Okay, so what do we need to do? Well, every 15 minutes for the Russell and the euro, and every 60 minutes for the yen, we need to review the trade to make sure the trade is still valid. Now, the coincidence that's going to happen in 6 minutes from now is that 6 minutes from now, we will hit 12 p.m. in New York. And that means that both the 60-minute time frame as well as the 15-minute time frame, they will be creating new candles in that bottom left chart. Therefore, we will have changes of values on the EMA, and quickly we need to double check that those EMS are still being enveloped by the UFO. Okay, and if it's not the case, then we need to cancel the trade. Okay, for example, on the yen, right now we have 0.23. Okay, this is nicely enveloped by this particular UFO. I mean, you may say, wait a minute, it's not enveloped, it's 0.2, and that UFO is a bit higher. Well, don't look at this value. Look at your entry value, which is the top of the UFO, isn't it? So right now it's fine, but let's say after the update, because the yen has been going up for 3 candles in a row, what if this value now becomes 0.5? Well, if it's 0.5, then 0.5 is somewhere there in the middle, which is not being enveloped by the EMA. So what do you need to do? You need to do probably the toughest action in trading, which is to go ahead and cancel the trade. Okay, after you've put all the time and effort into planning the trade, now you have to cancel it. Okay, but it's important that you behave professionally, and that way, when you make money, you price yourself for the right behavior instead of not cancel the trade. And let's say you make money out of luck, and next thing you know, you have been priced for doing the wrong thing, which will lead you into doing the wrong thing many times, which is to enter the trades when the rules are not met. Okay, so don't improvise, don't play luck. This is not about what we do in trading. This is not what this business is all about. This business is about having a mechanical approach to it. Of course, a mechanical approach with tools such as UFOs, because they add an edge. Okay, it's all about having a statistical advantage in the marketplace. Without a statistical advantage, then really it will be exactly the same as a casino player, right? A gambler in a casino. So we need to have proper tools, proper processes, understanding what we do when we trade, but then also follow the rules with discipline. Okay, so it's important that you review the trade 3 minutes from now. And I'll wait and we'll do it together. Okay, even though I thought we would conclude the session just a bit earlier, but since it's very little time, I'll just wait and we'll do it together. Okay, now with the Euro, same story. Okay, the current reference value it's 1310. Okay, our entry is 13095. I'm not concerned about that, because right now, if the euro was to fall, the EMA would drop. And if the EMA drops, now our entry is valid. Okay, but again, what if when we have this new update, okay, on the 15-minute time frame, because it's a collection of candles now for the euro going up. So what if instead of 1309, we got 1315, 1317, something like that. So what's going to happen now? Well, this trade need to be canceled. And let's face it, maybe you can replan it with another UFO, right? Maybe the next UFO is the one who now qualifies as an entry. But again, make sure you review your trades every time you have a new candle on the common time frame. Okay. And same thing with the Russell. The value for the Russell is 3175. Okay. Which we are good with 31.5, because again, if the Russell drops from 34 to 31.5, then the EMA will drop from 0.76 to point something, which is going to be less or equal than 0.5. So we're going to be fine. Okay, but again, a minute and a half from now, okay, when we have actually 1 minute from now, when we have the update at 12 p.m., it may not be the case any longer, okay, and therefore we may need to cancel the trade. Okay, so we're gonna be looking at that. Okay, euro, nothing new. Yen, nothing new. Russell, nothing new. So just waiting a few seconds, guys. Okay, just waiting a few seconds. Boyan, it is better to be disciplined and lose than undisciplined and win. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And you did not type it wrong. Absolutely, this is a very good advice. You know, if any one of you live today or watching this archive in the YouTube channel, you are reading these. Those are very wise words, and if you are new to trading, read it and read it and read it again. Maybe you want to make a note and put it on the wall next to your computer while you trade. Okay, it's important stuff. Discipline is absolutely key. So 5 seconds to go. 2 seconds to go. Here we go. We have an update here. So 3226 is the new update for the Russell. So I'm going to cancel the trade, guys. I'm going to cancel the trade because my entry is 31.5, which is lower. So cancel the trade on the Russell. Okay, the trade has been canceled. You could replan it. Okay, if you were to use that UFO has the entry around 32. And with that UFO, it could be a valid trade. Okay, but I will let you do that. That's going to be your homework. With the euro, what do we have? The EMA is 10, still 10. So really, there's been no major change. So that 0.95 is still valid. Okay, so we're gonna leave it like that. And with the Japanese yen, we had an update now bringing this up to 0.3. Our entry was 2.5. So you know what? It's fine. Okay, so the euro and the yen are fine. The Russell had to be cancelled, and we did. Okay, cool. So this is how we guys conclude the session for today. Hopefully everything went well. Let me know. Shoot us emails if you have questions, guys. Support at tradewithufos.com. You can also send me an email directly, jose@traditive.com. And let's stay connected. You guys keep up the good work. I'm always delighted to receive emails from you, and I'll get to learn more about where you're at in your journey in trading, both if you're new or experienced in both cases. And always very, very excited to learn more from you, especially understanding where you're at. Okay, so keep in touch, keep up the good work, be disciplined, listen to Boyan, good advice there. And we'll see you in the next session, guys. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone. Take care.